Testing 1, 2, 3 just to see if the mic is working, and then we'll get underway. Welcome everybody to Lightning Speed Racing. We are back for another event. This time we are in Qatar for the penultimate round of season number 10. I'm Formula Jonah, your host for today and owner of the league. And yeah, for this live stream we're going to be covering the Group 1 race. This is the fastest division in LSR. And a lot to look forward to, as we'll get into in just a moment. But a few quick track details that you need to know are these. So, Qatar, the circuit, this is the LSR International Circuit. This circuit was opened on September 30th in 2004, so about 21 years ago or so. The track is located in LSR, Qatar, and it has 16 turns, which make up the 3.367 mile or 5.419 kilometer circuit. Now, F1 has been racing here for quite a while. The first F1 race was actually back in 2021 in real life. It's been in the F1 game pretty much since this game. This is the first game it's had it, and in the next one we'll also have the LSR circuit as well. So it's great to have racing here on this fantastic circuit, in my opinion, to be honest. And then this circuit, besides Formula 1, hosts events in series such as MotoGP and the World Endurance Championship. I'm more familiar with the WEC stuff, as I cover the WEC on my official YouTube channel, so that's kind of where I get a lot of my information from. So, here we go for the second to last round of the Season 10 Championship in Group 1. We got a lot of fast drivers out on track, but the most important thing that you need to keep an eye on is the championship fight. Now, we haven't talked a lot about it throughout the season so far, and that's because it was kind of early days, but we're getting into the closing moments, and there are two drivers that I want to highlight here, one of which is on provisional pole position with the fastest lap time, TTV Konami. Now, Konami is going to be battling B-Tom for the championship. B-Tom, of course, is actually out on track right now. He's setting his lap in the Ferrari. He's got a very good chance of winning the World Championship today. Now, if he wins Group 1's championship in season number 10, he will be the second ever Ferrari driver to do so. The first, of course, being good old Vacant, who is another commentator and admin in LSR. But B-Tom will also be winning his 6th World Championship in Lightning Speed Racing in the F1 tiers. He's also run over in the GT Racing tiers back in the day as well. So B-Tom has really been the driver that everyone knows is the best in terms of the stats. But he's going to potentially extend his gap. The thing is that Konami has to outscore B-Tom by 8 points. B-Tom now goes third with a 121.0, and actually those two drivers are very close. In fact, the top 4 are separated by just the same, like, I mean, it's really just the 5th letter, that is, the 5th number. That is the difference between these top 4 racers. That is how close Group 1 is. Daniel with the fastest lap, a 121.024, followed by Konami, then B-Tom, then Ferrari Pro, of course. These 4, I think, are going to be some of the fastest drivers out on track, but you got to watch out for other drivers like SOA, BXT. There are a few others, of course, as we'll get into later on. One of the contenders that's usually for pole, SSL Mango, as I referred him to. Mango is not here today, so unfortunate to see that, but his replacement is going to be a driver that, of course, knows all too well about racing in Group 2, and that is Arstrading. Arstrading, of course, is the league owner as well, alongside me and Ethan. And of course, he's a racer in Group 2 as well, and potentially could be winning the championship in Group 2. So best of luck on that particular achievement for the Dutch racer. but he's currently in P6 right now, and he's going to be racing alongside Robin, who's actually just ahead, and they've made contact in the pits. Thankfully, that won't affect their race or anything like that, or qualifying. It resets with a new front wing once you go back out on track. But yeah, that a little unfortunate for the two Williams teammates. Hopefully, we don't see that in the Imola race in real life with the two Williams teammates, Sainz and Albon. We want to see a good race for the Williams duo, so we'll see how that goes. But welcome to everybody who's joined so far. It's been a pleasure to commentate throughout a couple of races throughout Group 1 this season. I haven't been able to do many of them because I've been super busy. Just got back from Laguna Seca in real life for the IMSA race, doing a lot of content over there, and so it's been a very, very busy week. But hey, I have an opportunity to commentate. I love racing and commentating around this circuit, so hey, here I am. So, at the top is Konami in the Sauber with a 120.9. First driver to dip into the 120s, but I have a feeling, as I say that, that's not going to be the fastest lap. Tom goes to the top with a 120.935, just a few 100ths of a second faster than Konami, who's actually a multiple winner now of LSR despite joining this season. He's been on a roll in 2024's, or in this 2024 F1 Games LSR season. This is also the second to last race in Group 1 before we switch over to the F1 25 game. Our last race is going to be next week, of course. I believe the race, I thought it was Brazil, but hold on a second. Let me just double check for you so I don't miss the information. It's going to be Brazil. Okay, yeah, I thought it was Brazil. So we're going to be heading to Interlagos for the last round. There was going to be 12 races, but now there is only... There's only 11 because of the F125 release. So, as qualifying progresses with about 9 minutes or so, depending on how things go, we're just approaching the mark where we're going to start seeing faster lap times. I'm going to try and catch a lap with one of these guys. I might go on board with BXT, who of course is one of our fastest drivers in this league, a driver that you can't count out for a big result. He's Aston Martin, of course. I love driving this car. It's one of my favorite cars to drive, to be honest. I drive it over in T-Bone's Star Cup League, and it is a great car to drive, for sure. I like the look of it, like the feel of it, like the Mercedes engine in the back. Of course, next year, it won't be a Mercedes engine, it will be a Honda. But let's take it on board with BXT, the Aston Martin racer in Group 1, as he comes around the final turn to start his first flying lap, if you will. He's going to go onto the main straight. This is where we'll see the most powerful times. The drivers are going to be going up to around 200 miles per hour, depending on their downforce settings. Into turn 1, very good line for BXT as he goes around the outside. Make sure not to go too wide as you get an invalidation. The second braking zone. This is where the cars really kind of start to funnel into one long line as they come out of the first lap. Double right-hander here. This is a very important section to get right, as you want to make sure you rotate the steering wheel very nicely, as BXT does. A heavy braking zone, a great place to make an overtake, but you can make a little bit of... sometimes there's incidents there, as proven in the WEC race between the BMW and the Ferrari, if any of you are familiar with endurance racing. Ferrari Pro, meanwhile, goes to the top with a 20.8 with BXT. Still flying, he almost invalidates the car, but looking so far pretty good for the Aston. Let's take a look at his Sector 2 time in just a moment. He's about to come across the Sector 2 as he's going up through the gears almost to 8th. He's not going to go into 8th, though. He's going to stay in 7th. He's purple in the second sector. Let's see if BXT can keep this going. This is pretty much flat throughout these sections of the track. You might want to dab on the brakes a little bit or just coast through some of these corners, but BXT has the downforce setup perfectly set. Into the final corner we come. You have to ace this one. You have to make sure you rotate the car perfectly. Get on the curb as much as you possibly can. To the line. Here comes BXT. Where does he go? He goes P6 with a 121.030. Just about a 1/100th of a second off of Daniel's lap in the McLaren, and just ahead of Tank in the RB, or Racing Bulls, whatever you'd like to call it. So pretty good lap from BXT, but I have a feeling that he's going to go a little bit faster as we progress throughout this session. Speaking of which, we have around 6 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Ferrari Pro is at the top. On the thumbnail, as you can see, it is a Haas and a Ferrari that is pictured in the thumbnail. Maybe that was foreshadowing what we're going to see in this race, because Ferrari Pro and BTOM are right at the top. Those are a Haas and a Ferrari. So maybe we're going to see Ferrari power dominate. But right now, that's not the case, because Daniel goes even faster. A McLaren to the top, a 120.7. So very good lap time from, I believe, the Hungarian racer, if I'm not mistaken. He's got the Hungarian flag. So Daniel to the top for McLaren. Talked Phoenix, a Group 2 driver, is in for Jerome, who's usually in the McLaren seat alongside Daniel. Talked Phoenix is currently down in 14th, but hopefully he'll improve throughout this time. It's interesting to see how competitive Group 1 is, because you have, I mean, Group 2 drivers, for example, that are always extremely fast throughout events, and yet they're still not at the top. So it just proves how Group 1 is so competitive in today's qualifying session. But of course, the race is all where it happens. BTOM starting his next lap as he is on an out lap currently. Tom is currently on a lap, I believe. Let's ride on board with the Mercedes, as he's actually purple in the first sector. So I want to keep an eye on this driver. Tom is actually doing very well. Tom is one of the fastest drivers actually in this league, and he's doing quite well. I believe he's reserving for the Mercedes team today, but he's very quick, as Konami goes fastest with a 20.7. Meanwhile, Robin R is disqualified from the session for parking in a very dangerous location according to the game. So very interesting to see. The Williams driver's kind of off the track there. Tom is purple in the second sector. I think he might be going fastest, so I'm going to keep an eye on his lap. Meanwhile, BTOM is also on a lap, so keep an eye on the Ferrari driver who's battling for the championship today. Remember, Konami has to outscore BTOM by 8 points. If Konami does not, BTOM wins his 6th World Championship. Tom to the line, though. Let's see what he can do. He goes P5, so he stays. He lost some time in the third sector, so no improvement for the Mercedes as of right now. BTOM is about a 10th down in the first sector, so right now it's not looking like an improvement on his time, but that could change. Let's see. Looking pretty good for the Ferrari. I always copy BTOM setups, if I'm going to be honest. He's got some of the best setups on the game. He is, ooh, purple in the second sector, looking pretty good. He's just a few, like, thousandths off of his fastest sector too, so looking pretty good for the Ferrari man. Let's see what he can do. He's got a Sauber right ahead. Hopefully that Sauber won't impede his lap. It won't, so BTOM to the line. Can he go to the top with 3 minutes and 45 seconds to spare? He does not. He stays in P4, a 120.8. This might be the grid, as Konami and Daniel have the 2 fastest times, although that could very well change. I mean, the difference between these two is just a few hundredths of a second. 2 100ths of a second, if I'm not mistaken, actually. So this is getting really, really intense. Soa is on a lap as well. Talked Phoenix out on a lap. There's Mercedes out on a lap as well, but he's invalidated. So no one's really on a lap right now. They're kind of just preparing to go out on track. Or maybe they feel this is it. I don't know. Let's see. Just to reiterate, I'm Formula Jonah, your host for today in the commentary booth. I'm the founder and league owner of LSR, also a driver in Group 2. This is Group 1 commentary for the Qatar Grand Prix, the second to last round of the season. This is round 10 of season number 10. And yeah, there's a lot of quick drivers out on track, and we're expecting a very exciting race here in Lusail, which is near the city of Doha, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Lusail is actually the second largest city in Qatar, if I'm not mistaken. And if you do have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I will try my best to answer. And then also make sure to share this stream. We want to get as many viewers as we can for the race, as Soa is currently purple in the second sector. Very good second sector, I have to say. Dogs is in the comments and says, like and subscribe all. Yes, that's exactly what I would hope as well. Subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of people here. We got a lot of content coming. But let's keep an eye on Soa, who's coming to the line now. Goes to the line, and he goes P5. Very good lap from the Haas racer. So 2 Haas's in the top 5, a 20.8. I have a feeling that might be it for Soa.